Hello, and welcome to today's Peaky Card reading. Today's topic is compliments your boss gives you behind your back. For that, we have two piles, pile number one and pile number two. And guys, before we start, if you like my content, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Let's start now. Hello, pile one. Let's see the compliments your boss gives you behind your back. All right. So, your boss thinks that you are a very wise, mature, balanced individual. You are somebody who is, I'm hearing clearly, you're capable of handling emergencies and difficult situations. A lot of you could be into nursing, could be fire worker, or maybe firefighting kind of job. Somewhere you have to handle emergency, maybe a doctor, some kind of an emergency handling situation, or you're very matured and balanced and stable as an individual who is very capable. When people are jumping around, you manage to maintain that calmic cool about you, which is very crucial and critical for handling emergencies. You are like one of those people, very balanced, very matured, very wise. People around you, your peers and your colleagues, tend to come to you for your wise words because your advices are usually very practical, very sane. You are also a very grounded and rooted in reality kind of a person who has seen a lot of life. Even if you are not much older, you have seen a lot of life. I'm getting a lot of self-made vibes right off the bat. Yes, let's see. Ace of Swords. Yeah, a lot of you are, most of you, your boss thinks that you're a very practical, analytical, logical, very earthy signs I'm getting, like Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus can be significant in Sun, Moon, Rising. And also, what I'm seeing is you guys are hustlers. You guys, with your job, also, most of you probably have a side business or a side hustle, and you make significant amount of money from that, if not equal or more than your day job. A lot of you guys make a significant amount of money through your side hustle. You are a very entrepreneurial person, very hustling, very practical, realistic. A lot of you could be into finances, stock market, yeah, something related to money, banking sector, sector. Of course, banking sector can also be significant, and then, as I said, doctors, surgeons, nurses, firefighters, those emergency line, those telephone operators, those kind of things as well can be seen. Like, you're very, like, in the face of severe emergency, your kind of people can maintain their cool and logic as well. When people are freaking out, you tend to maintain your karmic cool usually. You are also somebody who your boss thinks that you never give up easily. In the face of severe impediments, you keep on moving ahead. You are, yeah, the same thing, that you are able to manage your, you maintain your cool, and as a result, in the face of severe Six of Swords kind of energy, you just carry on. When you can't run, you walk. When you can't walk, you crawl, but you never give up. You have a never die kind of an attitude about you, which your boss really appreciates. Your boss, your manager, whoever. Also, you are they see you as a self-made individual, somebody who probably came from very modest backgrounds. Maybe a lot of you have come from a different country altogether. You came as a student and worked your way up, you hustled your way up, and I'm seeing today they respect you. You are today at a respectable position. Your boss actually respects you a lot. You have given your life a different direction. You have created a path, a way in this life for your own self. You are a gregarious social butterfly, very colorful social butterfly. You are that person. I'm seeing, like, you have a very quirky personality, either very quirky or a very, bright, bold personality. You do not believe in holding your tongue back. You call a spade and not a lawnmower. You're a very capable, wise, grounded, hardworking person. Also, a very forthright person, somebody who knows how to stand their ground. Yeah, you are a very, also, you're a very social person. Your PR is very, very good. People actually tend to judge you a lot because, you have the natural eloquence. There is a natural eloquence about you. You naturally have the gift of the gab, I'm hearing. So people, a lot of people may try to judge you, but what I'm seeing is you guys are really blessed. You guys have the gift of the gap. You're blessed in the, a lot of you have second and third houses prominence, especially the second house. I'm hearing, in fact, my throat is scratching right now. Like, your throat chakra is very prominent. Your communication is very solid. Gemini can also be seen, having a significant placement in Gemini can also be seen. The Sun card, yeah, you are a person who is very driven, very, you are usually raring to go, in a go 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 mode. I need to achieve this, at the same time I need to achieve that, at the same time I'll be achieving that as well. That kind of a person you are, and your boss really respects that. A lot of you are terrific multitasker. You're a very capable person, that's what they feel. Like, you are going to make it really big. You're already, they see you as a success story, somebody who has hustled their way up, somebody who is very self-made. You have created your own way for sure. A lot of you have had a very solid academic background. As I said, maybe you guys have migrated to a different country as a student. Some of you have had maybe into the STEM subjects, or like into finances and STEM subjects, that kind of thing. Or you guys have been extremely street smart people right from the start, and you have used your smartness to climb the hierarchy. So I'm getting, like, you guys also, there is like a shadow aspect to it, that a lot of you are probably a little bit too practical and too logical. When we become in life like too logical and too practical, then at times we tend to go towards a little bit of cynicism. A lot of you can be a little bit cynical. That's also something your boss thinks. But the compliments they would give you is, this is a person who is very, you're very good at your own subject. You're very competent. You're very intelligent. Somebody whose intellect is so high, so sharp. You're both IQ and EQ, emotional quotient and intellectual quotients, both are very high. Remember, your PR is also very good. They think that you have the perfect packaging for a CEO, a person, a founder, CEO, that kind of a personality. That's what your boss thinks about you. All right. They also feel that you are a very calculating person, very opportunistic person. You almost look at life, you play your life like it's as if it's a chase game. See this Seven of Swords, this guy is hiding behind the trees while three people are following him. He knows he could have faced them like head on, but that, with his ammunitions, he is hiding because he knows facing three people head on he will be at a disadvantageous position. So he is waiting for his turn to come, because he knows that life will give him the opportunity to strike right back, and that is exactly what he is waiting for. You are also this way, like very calculating. You know how to look for the opportunities in life. That kind of a person I'm seeing. And your boss also, they respect you, but at the same time they are a little bit intimidated by your personality. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Six of Wands, your boss, definitely your boss is pretty much intimidated by you. I'm seeing like you are, sorry, but you guys are definitely too ambitious for most people around you. For sure, whenever you speak about your 5 year, like a 5 year, where you want to see yourselves in 5 year time, in 3 years time, people are literally jaw dropped in because they can't even imagine how much you want to achieve in your life and your boss is really, they know that you are a very ambitious person, and they feel a little bit threatened as well, but they compliment you for that, they respect you for that, they know that, Eight of Wands, you are a fiercely capable person, at the same time very competitive and fierce and feisty when it comes to your work, when it comes to your career. You do not leave any stone unturned. By the way, guys, if you like my content, please hit the like button and subscribe and share, because your support would mean so much to me. Now, going back, the World card, literally, you are one of those people who has turned your world from this, see, this black and white, to this colored situation. You guys have literally managed to turn your world from this to this. You have been one of those people who has turned their world from literally a very drab, very, there was nothing much to look forward to, from there to something very solid. You have build a career, a life of your own with your own capabilities, and your boss really, okay, I'm just moving the camera a little bit, your boss literally respects it so much. Actually, not just your boss, your colleagues actually respect you a lot for all the achievements that you have had, but they actually feel that you are probably a little bit too ambitious. For some of them, they can't even imagine the kind of ambition that you portray. And let me tell you, there is nothing wrong in that, my pile number ones, because we all are living only once, right? It's your life and it's your choice. Do not let others, anybody, decide what you need to do with your own life. Anyways, Seven of Cups, yeah, your boss also thinks that you are somebody who has been literally the alchemist. You have manifested a lot of your wishes. A lot of things that you have been able to manifest already in your life are the things that probably even they wish they had in their lives. Maybe you drive the vehicle, the house that you live in, the clothes that you wear, the wardrobe that you have, maybe the partner that you have, everything. I'm seeing like a lot of, like, they compliment you. You have a lot of greed, integrity, dedication, determination, a lot of passion to move ahead, but they really wish that they also had all of this. Like, they mostly, I'm seeing, like, they, more than the internal things that you have, they are more looking at the external achievements that you have. They also find you to be, if it's like appropriate in the office setting, I don't know, that's for you to decide, they find you to be very attractive. At least they are very well aware that a lot of people are actually crushing on you. A lot of people would love to romance you, a lot of people would love to date you, for sure. Seven of Pentacles, you are a person who is like, today you have quite a bit of stability in your life, but that was not so. A few years back, situations were way more grim, and you didn't know like how to get by, like making the ends meet was difficult for you. I'm seeing today you literally live in the attitude of gratitude. That is something your boss both appreciates, at the same time they are also very envious, because it's your attitude of gratitude that has helped the universe bestow upon you a lot more of those positive experiences. And that is one thing that your boss really appreciates you for, and they're a little bit envious. You know what, I'm seeing like your boss is almost competing with you. That is the kind of vibes I'm getting. They see you as the Queen of Wands, a very powerful, very sorted, very well put together all the time, in a position of power. Your boss literally sees you as somebody who is going to reach this position of power, very respectable, somebody who uses their power and contact to help others, to reach those people also who are in need. They see you as a very sophisticated yet a very powerful individual. Falcon, act on the opportunity that's before you and commit to it without equivocation. Exactly. This is exactly what I was saying. Like, your boss sees you as somebody who is very good at spotting the opportunities, a quite observant person who would spot the opportunities and commit to them and achieve their goals. That's how they feel that you have been able to achieve a lot more than an average individual. Even at your age, at your stage, your boss had not achieved what you have been able to achieve, and that is something that makes them really feel a little bit envious, bored. Face your problems head on with confidence and courage, and you will emerge victorious. Yes, they actually compliment you on the fact that you are one of those people who does not shy away from the challenges. Instead, you tend to face your challenges head on and try to move ahead. You have the courage and confidence and determination to face your challenges head on. That is something that your boss tend to compliment you on for sure. Okay, Cheetah. All right, it's just getting a little bit messed up. Get clear on your intentions, stay focused, and move quickly to achieve your goals. Literally, they see you as this cheetah who knows what their intentions are. Your intentions are very clear. Your boss really compliments you on this, that this is a person who is very clear on what they want in life, their goals, and they're very focused, and you know how to achieve your goals quickly. And you literally have multiple goals in life, and you have been achieving them, ticking the boxes one after the other, and that is something that they compliment you on, that this person never stops, this person never sleeps. Chimpanzee. Use both your intuition and your intellect to solve the problem or get answers to your question. You are to them like a person who has both intuition as well as intellectual abilities, and you use both of them to your advantage. You are a very good problem solver, and you use both of these faculties of yours, like a left and right brain. You use both of them to solve the problem. You are a problem solving kind of a person, and that is another thing that your boss tend to compliment you on. Snow leopard. Take some time out of your usual life and spend it in solitude. You are a person who is like this snow leopard, who is willing to take some time out and spend it in solitude. A lot of you are probably workaholics, but other than that, maybe you prefer to spend your time. You have a very social side to you, but at the same time, you are a very rooted and grounded person. There is this dichotomy in your character, which helps you charge your batteries, your own time, your winding up time. That is something is very important for you to get charged up, and that is something like a life in quiet contemplation, life around the nature, life in maybe doing some yoga and meditation. These are the things that helps you stay motivated and focused, and this grounded approach towards life is something that your boss really respects about you as well. Cat. It's time to strike out on your own and relinquish your over dependency on others. Exactly. You are not a codependent person. I'm saying there was an issue of codependency in your life once, but today you have become a very self reliant individual. Somebody who believes in their own abilities, somebody who is very self motivated, self reliant, and is willing to take on anybody on their own. You have that self, like, I am not going to be dictated by others kind of a mindset, like a cat who is very self reliant. MU, this is a good time to go on a new adventure. Yeah, you are also a very adventure seeking person. Somebody, probably even your career moves have been pretty bold. That is something that your boss compliments you on, because they couldn't have taken such bold career moves that you have taken. That is one thing I'm seeing. Hold your vision. Yeah, they see you as a visionary. Your boss literally sees you as a visionary, somebody who has a lot of vision for their own self, for their future, for their career. A lot of you could be having a strong Aquarius for sure, and you're willing to work towards your goal. As I said, Taurus can be significant, of course. Your dreams need a practical plan. Yes, you look at, you see your dreams with your open eyes, with your eyes widely open. With that tells me is you are like a, you are a dreamer, but You are also very grounded and practical. You know you need to put in the work as well in order to make your dreams a reality. That is another aspect of your personality which makes you like, which makes your boss compliment you. Luck is on your side. Yeah, your boss also thinks that you have been pretty lucky in life. Yes, of course, I'm seeing you have manifested this luck in your life with your attitude of gratitude. The universe has bestowed upon you a lot of good luck. Step out of your comfort zone. You are a person who has at last managed to step out of your comfort zone. You are a person who has at last managed to literally go big in your life. You have stepped out of whatever, like you are usually out of your comfort zone, and you have taken a lot of bold decisions, I'm hearing, especially career wise, and that is something, that is a reason why your boss respects you a lot. Yeah, you're very bold when it comes to your career decisions. You're very forthright, very bold, willing to stand your ground, strong kind of a personality in case of your workplace. Yes, track down your fears and desires. You are one of those people who has faced their fears head on. You have seen a lot of failures, struggle, so you're those things don't really intimidate you anymore. Be devoted and committed. You are like this determined sage, who is very devoted, committed towards their life, very disciplined, very regimented, very focused kind of a person who knows what they want out of their life and are willing to go full throttle after it. Choose your path. Your boss literally feels that you are walking on the chosen path. You guys are on a chosen path today in your career, especially. You are doing things that you are meant to do, that you are born to be doing, and that is exactly what you are doing today. Okay, follow your voice of follow the voice of your soul. Yeah, you are a person who speaks their mind pretty clearly. First of all, you have a very clear mind, very clear intention. You know your mind very well, not a confused individual. Secondly, you are very good at articulating your thoughts, and you speak your mind pretty clearly. You know what your truth is, and you're not afraid to speak them out loud. That is another thing that make you gain a lot of respect from your bosses. Stand your ground. Exactly as I said, you can be a little bit obstinate, but when it comes to, you have a lot of masculine energy about you. When it comes to your goals and focus and all that stuff, you have a lot of masculine energy about you, and that is something that makes you actually stand out in a crowd. That is something that actually um, you know make you stand out amongst a lot of people, align your life. Yeah, your boss literally believes that you are already aligned. Your life is already in alignment with your work purpose, your life's purpose. You're already a very sorted, very wise, very disciplined person, somebody who knows where they want to take their life to, and are working towards it as well. Boundaries. Yeah, you also have a very strong sense of boundaries. You are a very strong personality in general. You do not let others walk all over you. You are not a pushover of any sort. You are not a dish rag or something. You know where your boundaries are, and you do not let others enter those. A lot of you could be having a little bit of trust issues as well. Pumpkin, uncaging the spirit within thou, the fertile power you hold. To test your buttery velvet upon tongue is a gift I shall cherish each day that comes. I'm seeing like you are one of those people who wants to embrace each and every single day of your life. You tend to really embrace all the positive energies that are coming towards you. You are willing to embrace everything that was like about to, like, you are somebody who is like, believe in seizing every moment of the day, because you know that we all have limited times on this earth, and you believe in not wasting a single moment, and that is something that is appreciated by your boss's journey. Daughters of our mother, walkers of the unknown, take with you on this journey all that you own. Literally, you've created a path for your own self. You are a very self-made individual who has faced all the troubles in life, but stood up, stood their ground, and have created a path today. You can always rewrite your story. Literally, you guys have rewritten your story. That's exactly what your boss thinks about you. That this is a person who has literally rewritten their story of life, of their life from scratch. They have rewritten, reinvented themselves, and they really respect you. I'm seeing a lot of respect coming towards you from your bosses and managers for sure. Don't be afraid to sing. Yes, you are a person who literally dances to the tunes of your own beats. You are a little bit eccentric, maybe a little bit capricious, but basically very unpredictable at the same time, but not at all a pushover. Like if somebody thinks that they can manipulate you and control you, you can see right through that BS. You're one of those people who is, you're a very free spirited person in general. That's the compliment I can think of, that you are a person who is extremely free spirited, extremely, you know a free bird, as they say. Yeah, you cannot be a puppet. You can be never be made into a puppet. That is something that your boss realizing that they cannot control you is a big compliment in itself. Probably you have shown some rebellious tricks, or maybe they have noticed some rebellious tricks in you. Take control of your own narrative. Exactly. You have the control of the narrative of your life in your own hands. You are very much, even if you work at a certain place, you are basically your own boss. You are a very disciplined, regimented, very sorted kind of a person who cannot be controlled by others, who cannot be dictated by others. Your life can only be dictated by you and you only. Take yourself out on a date. Yeah, you are a person who is extremely, like, you are a firm believer of self love and self respect. You genuinely believe in the fact that if I cannot respect myself, I should not expect others to respect me, and vice versa. You respect yourself, you respect your work, and that gets reflected elsewhere. That is something, these are the reasons why actually your bosses and colleagues respect you as well. Now, time for the guided messages, Palvan. When it gets tough, the tough gets going. Your boss thinks that you are a very tough nut. Yes, you are a very tough, and who is very good at handling difficult circumstances. You shine brightly like a star. I'm so proud of you. I did not explain this. Your boss really is proud of you as well. You and your goodness mesmerizes me. They also feel that you're genuinely, in general, you are a good human being. You are a decent human being. You are wise way beyond your age. Yes, you are an individual who is very wise, very decent, very, sorted kind of an individual. All right. Your kindness and compassion makes you stand out. Yes, I can see that. You're also very compassionate, kind, gentle, especially towards the have nots, towards the kids, towards small animals and elderly, and that is something that your boss likes about you as well. I love the maturity and sincerity that you bring on table. Exactly. They love how mature, how wise, how sincere you are. You are very sorted, wise at the same time. You are equally sincere towards your work. There is always light at the end of the tunnel, if only we are brave enough to embrace it and make it a part of our journey. Exactly. You are an eternally optimistic person. It's your optimism towards life, towards looking at the brighter side of life, is something that makes you stand out as well. That's what your boss thinks, at least. Your life is as simple as you keep it and as complicated as you make it. That is your mantra for sure. And I'm seeing that your boss really appreciates that about you. All right, time for the charms. Okay, I've picked up quite a few, I'm seeing. You can make a very wise, you are like a guide and a guru for a lot of people. You're very wise, who can show the way to a lot of people. Your boss also feels that you're divinely blessed and protected. The elephant shows that you have a larger than life image. You and your work has influenced a lot of people. You are a free, emancipated soul. You are like with a mask, you have a lot of you know admirers, secret admirers, also a lot of people who are secretly envious of you. You are the star, and you hold the key to your destiny. All right, pile 2, I hope you get some clarity over your situation. If yes, please hit the like button, share and subscribe. Guys, your support would mean so much to me. If you like my content, please like, share, subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Namaste. Hello, pile 2. Let's see what compliments your boss gives you behind your back. Your boss clearly thinks that you are a very sharp person, very intelligent, observant, sharp person, somebody who has seen a lot of life, a lot of ups and downs, especially the downs, and you're very good at identifying people for who they are, recognizing people for who they are, like through their masks. You're very good at looking at people beyond their facade. You are like almost a repellent for manipulators. Your sense of boundary is very strong. You can make a very good team lead, a very good mentor figure for the juniors. You are also very wise. The fool too typically shows that a little bit risk averse kind of a person, because the fool, a fool too has been a fool once, where they have taken a lot of risks, especially not so calculated ones, and have been hurt in life. Today you take risks. It's not like you do not take risks, but before taking risks you consider the pros and cons wisely. So you are very matured as an individual. That's another thing that your boss thinks about you, that this is a person who will not just jump to a conclusion just like that. They will think things through before making a decision. So your decision making power, decision making capabilities are very much at par. They also feel that you are a very strong, resilient, very persevering kind of an individual. If you fail at something once or twice, you just don't give up. Instead, like, with age that comes, or with experience that comes, that you need to keep trying before you get better. Like, very few people tend to succeed at the first or second attempt. So that is the mindset I'm hearing for you, that a very strong individual, very strong minded, persevering, very determined, focused, that kind of an individual. And you are somebody who is that way. And your what do you call it, the boss, they are really impressed by you. 5 of Wands, you are a person who is very, very stable. I'm seeing that you are an individual who is very stable, very determined, very logical. A lot of you could be having a strong Capricorn sign, because I'm hearing that you guys are very good at making things work. You're very rooted, grounded in reality, very determined to see things through the end, that kind of a person. I'm seeing like you are a person who would do anything to make things happen in their life. That is one thing I'm seeing. Like, your boss sees you as a person, you know I'm seeing you're probably one of the hardest workers your boss has ever come across, and they find it really commendable. If they give you a work at the very last moment, you still get it done. You are known for being very hardworking, very determined, as I said, very disciplined, regimented, schedule oriented. Yes, They also see you as a success material. They find like you are one of those people who have really hustled their way up, and they feel that you are somebody who is already pretty successful but is gonna make it really big in this life. You're one of those people who is gonna make it really staunchly big in this life, very very big in this life. You are one of those people, sorry, I had to move the camera a little bit. Yeah, very big in this life. You're also a multitasking person. You are very good, like if you're being made a part of two or three projects, you can handle two three projects all at the same time. You are that capable. A Secondly, you are also that kind of a person who is, you know, you probably have multiple talents. Could be a hobby that you have transformed into a career. Also in your career also, you could be like technically and managerially both. You're very good, like you're very good at the technical side of your work. At the same time, a lot of you could be very good managers, good at man management skills. So your boss thinks that you are a multifaceted personality who can be used at different arenas of work. Like you can be used in multiple places. So you bring a lot more on table than an average worker. That's what your boss feels about you. That's the compliment you get. You know, a lot of you have had a big transformation in the last few years. Okay, the tower moment. There was a time you went through where you literally felt the rug being pulled from beneath your feet. You know, when we go through difficult, distressful situations, we tend to become way more efficient at everything because we now know that we have to survive. You have to make our ends meet. We need to keep the roof over our head. Everything has to be run smoothly. That is one thing that I'm seeing for you guys, that you guys have at last realized that this transformation is needed. Transformation, and survival. These two things are very much needed. You know, you are like this green shoot. I'm seeing you are a person who has transformed a lot, who has been through a lot of backstabbings. When we go through difficult times, we actually see the real faces of people. You actually see the real faces, how they are, what they are here to do. That kind of scenarios I'm seeing for you guys. For sure, you guys have realized that, you know, it has those, you know, when you see face those backstabbings and stuff, for certain time period you tend to give up, tend to be in a lot of grief and depression. But slowly, through those tough times, you get transformed into a higher vibrational being. You became probably way more efficient after you went through these difficulties, because clearly you had a lot of financial stress. When you have a lot of financial stress, you learn to make yourself way more efficient, way more useful. That is exactly what I'm seeing with this multitasker, that, you know, you have become almost indispensable. Wherever you go for work today, you tend to make yourself indispensable. You're so hardworking, so disciplined, so dedicated, so efficient as a worker, that, you know, what I'm seeing is, because you've seen a lot of financial hardship today, you do not want to lose your job. Instead, you have learned to make yourself, as I said, indispensable. Wow, I mean, that's the compliment that your boss would give you. Indispensable. They cannot do without you. Your institution cannot do without people and workers like you. Two of Wands. You are an individual who has walked a lot away. You have, a lot of you have like traveled to a different country or a different state, at least away from your home, to find your success. You know, for a lot of you, you grew up in a home situation which is unstable, toxic, where you literally felt like this caged bird. See, this caged bird, always on the sword. Literally, you have felt this way at your home, or maybe in your ex relationships, or like past relationship or past job scenarios. So a lot of you have walked out of that situation, maybe traveled to a completely different place. This key, you know, what I'm seeing is, you guys are literally, you hold the key to your own destiny. That's what your boss feels, that you're so hardworking that nobody can actually put you away from your work. You have been through a lot of difficulties which has made you very wise. A lot of you are probably not that gregarious. Instead, you're more like this hermit, reticent, quiet, observant, all about your work, and very introverted, because you today know that more I speak, and for you probably speaking and socializing doesn't really make much sense. You have been backstabbed and betrayed by your so-called own people, friends whom you trusted, people whom you trusted. So today what you do is you try to make your career as good as you can. Literally, you are known for your work ethics as well. Your boss compliments you for your work ethics. You are somebody who gets up and starts working until they go to bed. You guys work. Most of the time you spend is doing your work. You are so good at what you do because you are a workaholic. And yeah, your boss loves you for that. It's a compliment, but probably there should be a limit and boundary. Like a very silent nudge to a lot of you, pile 2. Yeah, you are very driven, especially when it comes to your career, because you are hungry for growth. That's what your boss feels like. This is a person who is hungry to grow, to get better at what they do every single day of their life. You guys are trying to get a little bit better, a little bit, like, a little better, a little, what shall I say, you guys are those people who have realized that, what, this is the work that will give me you have realized it's your work that gives you a lot of satisfaction. It's the money in your bank that gives you a lot of stability in your life. You being able to put food on table, to the roof, keeping the roof over your head. You need to work. And also, a lot of you tend to really love what you do. That's what your boss compliments you on, that this is a person who love what they do. You're also very good with money. I'm seeing that you guys are making a very stable amount of money for quite some time, but you have realized as well that squandering money away is not your type of thing. Instead, you have learned how to spend your money wisely, how to become a person who is more wise with their money. You do not wear flashy stuffs. Maybe once in a while indulgences is one thing, but you do not indulge in flashy stuff. Instead, you believe in investing and increasing the money that you make. Also, 5 of swords. Yeah, you are a person who is, like, I'm saying, like, you're very efficient. Since you're so efficient, there are loads of office politics going on. That's something that your boss also notices, that a lot of your colleagues who were your peer, now they need to call you their boss. Like, they are really envious of the growth that you have had. That's another compliment for sure. People are envious of us when we are doing really well in life. That is exactly what I'm seeing about you. The world card. You know what? You are that person who has managed to turn their world around for better. I'm seeing a lot of upgradation in your lifestyle today. You have the money and the finances and the means to fulfill all of your wishes. A lot of upgradation in the vehicle you travel in the in the lifestyle that you have today. But you do not have a very flashy lifestyle, that I can see. You almost are like a hermit, but still you have the ways and means to be able to fulfill everything that you think of. And your boss is really, really surprised and amazed by the change that you have been able to. You have literally turned your world around. You are very determined, very, very competitive when it comes to your work. Your boss, that's another compliment for you, that this is a person who is very determined. They are willing to go the extra mile just to fulfill their own wishes. You are so competitive, so how shall I put it? You are not going to keep any stone unturned. You're not gonna leave anything for your opponent. It can be your best friend, but when it comes to your work, you guys are opponents. Okay, Temperance, you're a very balanced person, very wise person. You have been through a lot of ups and downs, loads of experiences today. A lot of you could be a corporate trainer as well, a mentor, trainer, life coaches, or what I'm seeing is you guys are very good mentor figures for a lot of your juniors. Even your seniors are very motivated seeing you, for sure, because I'm seeing like you're so wise. You have such enriching experiences in your life that people around you, both senior and junior, are very inspired by you. Four of Wands, you are a person who is very stable, and a lot of your colleagues would actually, if you are single, would love to date you or have a long term relationship with you. You have a very amicable, affable personality, very approachable, affable personality. A lot of you have a very strong intuitive power, as I said, a strong moon sign, especially in the water signs like Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Scorpio can be significant. You have very strong intuition. That is another thing that your boss really compliments you on, that if you have said certain things about some people, they usually tend to come true. Three of Cups, you are a person who is here to celebrate life, who is here to just you know I'm seeing that you are celebrating life. You are celebrating life to the fullest at last. You are that person who has at last managed to, like, you have seen a lot of struggle growing up, everything, like you have been backstabbed repeatedly for the first time probably in your life. You are seeing the growth, the success that you have always wanted to witness in your life. I'm seeing some major success for sure. Yeah, you're very strong. The strength card probably is the second time. See how strong she is. The bear is her best friend, her pet. So that's how resilient, persevering, courageous you are as well. You embody the empress energy. It reminds me of the term milk and honey. You are so abundant, you are literally resplendent in your own glory. That's the term that I can think of. Really, somebody who has got everything at their feet today, but still they're equally grounded, equally, you know all about their work. Your boss is astounded by the grounding qualities, the humility that you bring on table. Broom, what dreams may come from what you seek. Make room, make way, a clearing need be. You are one of those people who has managed to wash away everything of your past, everything that was pulling you down, pulling you backwards. You have managed to literally clear away all the karma and karmic debt of your past and have restarted your life with a new, better, refreshing, enriching energy. Protection, this is my house, stained by the very blood flowing through his walls, covered in a veil of delicious prayers, yet deadly to those who dare lift its hidden. Literally, you are like a person your boss thinks who is divinely protected. If somebody tries to hurt you, they usually are the ones who tend to get a lot more hurt. That is something that your boss thinks about you, that this is a person who has a divine blessing on them. You're also a healer. A lot of you tend to speak really well. I'm seeing the communication is key, and you have a very healing, cathartic effect. A very good leader, a very compassionate human being. These are the compliments that your boss thinks: compassionate, kind, nurturing. Not a leader who would abuse their juniors. Instead, you tend to motivate your juniors. Dog, your loyalty and faithfulness is misplaced by serving too many masters. Literally, you are a person who have been literally, you have been through a phase where your faithfulness and loyalty was totally misplaced, misused by others. Today, it's no longer so. You have become a person who is way wiser. Yeah, this wisdom is something that your boss compliments you on. Honey bee, you are literally a busy bee in the company. You are one of the hardest working people in the company. Let compassion and forgiveness be your top priority. Yeah, you have been through difficult situations, but you have learned that, not for the others, but for your own self, you need to learn to forgive and forget. Camel, trust that you have the resources to get through the challenges before you. Literally, you are a person they feel who is very resourceful, who can face any challenge that comes their way. Camel can be significant because it's a very resilient animal. You do not jump around when others are being panicky and finicky. You are like the solid anchor. Alright, polar bear, stand up for yourself and speak your truth respectfully and compassionately with no attachment to outcome. You are like this polar bear who is very, like, you're very compassionate and respectful towards others, but you're not a doormat. You know how to stand up for yourself and speak your version of the truth, which is so important in today's day and age. Your boss really respects you for that. Tiger, you are being called upon to provide leadership, so trust that you're capable of doing so. You are being seen by your bosses as somebody who is capable of giving leadership, providing leadership to others. They literally see you as a leader material, somebody who would make a very able and capable leader. Ladybug, this is a time of good fortune and abundance, so be willing to receive all the good things in your life. You are being seen by others as somebody who is very fortunate, who is very abundant, somebody who should be receiving all the good things in life. You are a person who is uh, very nice, kind, fortunate, and yeah, your boss thinks that you're meant for, actually meant to receive even better things in life. Autumn, release the old and rest. You are a person who is very you have managed to release everything that resembled your past, and today you have managed to move on, move ahead in your life, move to a better place in your life. Shapeshifter, transform and unveil your gifts. You are a person who is, you have shifted your shape. Shape shifting is a person, shifter is a person who has really managed to change themselves upside down. You have really transformed your gifts. Like, you were always gifted, but always other people used to take advantage of your gifts. Like today, you have transformed yourself into a version which is higher up than that, who is like, who sees right through people's facade, and people can no longer use you. That is the compliment that makes your boss really respect you, that you being able to see through people's manipulation, shift your perception. Literally, people's perception of you has shifted, has changed from somebody who used to be gullible to somebody who is very wise. Love and let yourself be loved. You are being loved and respected by one and all. Your boss is really amazed by how many people actually loves and respects you, genuinely enjoy growth and reap rewards. Your boss literally thinks that you are the growth that you're enjoying today, experiencing today, the growth, the rewards that are coming your way are because of all the hard work that you have been putting in for years, if not decades, and they are at last coming to fruition. They are at last getting fulfilled. Dream and journey, literally you guys are on your dream journey to the better version of your destiny. I'm seeing that you guys have become a part of a, your life has changed so much. Your life has been upgraded to such an extent today that you can literally, you are at a phase where most of your peers would love to be, even your boss is pretty envious of the journey that you have had and the successes that you are, the milestones that you are being able to hit. Have faith in your dreams. You are a person who is like, you have a lot of dreams, but you have a lot of faith in those dreams as well to make them come true, to make them a reality. Today I'm seeing you are today a version of yourself who knows what they want from their life and are willing to put in 200% work to work towards those, and you're doing that as well. Believe in the impossible. Your boss believes, and the peers around you also, like, You know, when nobody believed in you, you believed in yourself. So today, the success that you're having is because of all the belief that you had in yourself and no one else believed in you. Your hard work is paying off, Capricorn. You know, you are a person, for a lot of you, Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus are significant. Your hard work is paying off. You are a person who is extremely hardworking. You are a person who never took any advantage of any situation. You have always proven your worth to reach wherever you have today. And your success is speaking for your own self. Show the world the real you, Aquarius. You know what I'm seeing is you are a person showing the world the real you is. People are at last recognizing, you know, your boss is actually recognizing how talented, how capable you are. The really how, like, there was a time when people used to pull you down, people would make fun of you, people would make fun of, like, maybe the way you dressed, the way you looked, the how much hours you had put in. But today those things are paying off and people are amazed. Nobody wants to work hard, everybody wants success, but working hard should go hand in hand with your success. That is a memo very few people tend to have. Let's get honest. And your boss is really impressed by that balance, spirituality and practicality. Exactly, your boss literally feels that you are one of those people who has that balance of yin and yang in your life. You're both spiritual and intuitive at the same time, practical and pragmatic in your approach. The fiery climax approaches, you are an individual. You know, a fiery climax typically tells me that your boss genuinely feels that you are in for a bigger gain in life, big success, massive success in life. Taurus can also be significant prosperity lies ahead. You know, I'm seeing that you're one of those people who are literally, your boss feels, your even your colleagues are so envious of you. They feel that you're gonna make it really big, some explosive success, national, international level kind of success, and you're gonna be very, very prosperous. Break the chain. You are an individual who has literally managed to break the chain of poverty, the break the chain of your past belief system, your ancestral ties and patterns, and have rewritten their future. Literally, you have rewritten your destiny on your own. And that is another thing why your boss, like, really respects and admires you. Trust the niggle. Yeah, your instincts are very strong. Your boss always talks about this, like your gut feeling. If you have a gut feeling, negative niggling feeling about something, they usually turn out to be true. Get grounded. You are an individual who is very rooted and grounded in reality. Birthing a new age. You are somebody who is very progressive, very ahead of their times, very determined. You know, a lot of you could be into research and stuff, very, or into technology. Yeah, very Rahu driven, not no driven people as well. Very tech savvy. A lot of you are very, very tech savvy, and that's the compliment your boss gives you, that this is a person who was so good technically. Thorns, weave together the crown you deserve. You are like one of those people who would make lemonade if life throws you lemons. If there is a strong tornado coming your way, you will build a windmill instead of a long wall. So that is a person who turns adversity into opportunities. That's your mindset. And that is something that your boss also tend to compliment you on. Don't doubt your worth. I'm always enough. Literally, you are one of those people who genuinely feels that they are genuinely good enough in their life. All right, so this self belief and self confidence is another thing that your boss compliments you on, my pile number 2. All right, now time for the guided messages. Believe in your own abilities. You are an individual who has a lot of belief and faith in their own abilities. Your simplicity is your biggest asset. You are a very simple person, very simple, uncomplicated kind of a person, building every cornerstone with my own deeds. You are a person who has literally built every part of your life with your own work and own deeds. Self worth. You are an individual who has a strong sense of self worth and self belief, and you believe that if you put work into something, that will come true. Live and let others live. You are an individual who has managed, like, you genuinely believe in, I need to live my life on my own terms and let others do the same as well. Yeah. Work hard and your life will get easier. You are a person who has worked very, very hard, and your life will get way easier. You're such a worthy human being. You are such a worthy human being. Your boss thinks, your colleagues, in fact, thinks, your managers thinks that you are a very worthy person. You are like an uncut diamond to me. The more I get to know you, more deeper my feelings are. For a lot of you, either some of your colleagues have deeper feelings for you, or maybe your boss could be crushing on you for a few of you. Alright, time for the charms. Okay, a lot has come up. Okay. Your boss feels your good times have arrived. You're getting recognized. You are like an unicorn, absolutely very rare, extremely hardworking. You make a lot of people smile. You have a lot of ethereal qualities about you as well. Yes, transformation has been key. You have a jet set lifestyle. Today, you hold the key to your destiny. Yeah, you're being recognized. Success is coming your way. Lightning, like success, lightning. You have a lot of gift about you. All right, Kautu. I hope you have had some clarity over your situation. If yes, please hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Guys, your support means so much to me. So please, if you like my content, please, please, please support my channel. Thank you. Namaste.